we're in the people business first before we're in the pizza business.
Exactly.
You know, we're with our employees more than we're with our kids.
Thank you for tuning in and welcome to the Austin All Day Culinary Tales podcast. Jason Powers here. Please welcome the good folks behind Tossed Pizzeria, Chef John Pennington and Justin De La Cruz. Good people with great pizza. You guys sit back, grab a slice, and check it out. This is here if we need it. So welcome, you two.
Thank you
for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Chef John, Justin, Toss Pizzeria.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, give me the rundown of Toss.
Well, we've had one location open for 3.5 years on South First Street in South Austin. We just opened our second location out in Bee Cave about 4 months ago. We're a pizza place, bar, sports bar. What we pride ourselves on is, being a place for everybody, kids, families, people that want to hang out with friends, have a drink, have some good food, good drinks, and, have a welcoming environment and a casual environment for guests to come in.
So the South First is 3 years?
3.5, yep.
Wow, time flies.
It does.
Yes.
It does fly. And in this time, you've had 2 children.
Yep. I
So-
have
Yeah.
2 under 2 right now.
Okay. and all the while, you opened the first one while having the first child?
No, we did not have our son when we opened that one.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
A little bit after.
19 months right now, so he'll be 2 years old on Super Bowl Sunday.
There we go. There you go. That's a way to celebrate the birthday.
That's
Yeah.
Well, exciting. And then this new location, how's it going?
It's going well. And, it's an area of town where there's, not a whole lot of restaurants compared to South First, at least,
Definitely.
South First, within a mile, we've got amazing other pizza restaurants around us. Home Slice, ABGB, King Rosso. We've got Pine House Pizza, and I'm sure there's more I could name all within a mile.
Sure.
Out there, there's not. There are some others in the area, but it's an area of town we felt was looking for something that had that kind of Austin feel and kind of had that welcoming, especially for families out there. There's a lot of families.
There are, right?
Yeah.
By
and
the Hill Country Galleria.
right near the Hill Country Galleria, about a minute down the road from it.
You almost get like 2 totally diverse crowds at
Yeah.
each place, right?
A little bit,
Definitely.
but it's surprising how many people have come into the Bee Cave location that have said, "Oh yeah, we live out here, but we love your South First location." And I wasn't expecting to get as many people as we've had come in that have been to the first location. Just last night, I was there, and these teachers that teach out there came in for their first time and like, "Oh, we're so excited to learn you're opening out here," and it happens more often than I expected.
Nice. Well, that's good. People are getting out. I don't. I come home and stay home. But no, that's good to hear, though. I'm curious, what prompted the pizza place for you guys? Are you guys owners?
We are correct.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, we are.
So it started. How many years ago did we start this process?
12 years?
12
Something
years
like
ago,
that,
probably
yeah.
was the initial conversation.
Oh, no kidding. So
Yeah.
I guess even before we go into that, where do you guys meet up in the grand scheme of life?
Well, it
Mutual
kinda-
friend.
Yeah, mutual friend. It kind of came from the idea of opening a pizza place. I went on a trip to Chicago for a friend's wedding, and while there, went to some of the pizza places there, Lou Malnati's, Giordano's, and one thing I noticed there was the bars at all of those locations. That's the only place they had TVs was at the bars, were packed in every single one, and you could tell the people sitting there like that was their spot to go watch a sporting event.
Yeah.
And get a great pizza as well. So, on the way back from that trip, I was thinking, at the time at least, this was 12 years ago, was thinking, there's not a whole lot of great pizza places that, can have that fun environment, in Austin, and even now, is what I believe, we have a great pizza scene in Austin, nationally. Maybe that's not the perception, but especially not 12 years ago. So when I got back, I spoke to one of my colleagues, and he mentioned that, hey, one of my partners in my business, brother-in-law, has been talking about opening a pizza shop. Let me get y'all together. So he introduced John to myself, and we started trying to figure things out for a while. It's a process from going from an idea in your head to put it on paper, putting a business plan together, the money aspect of it, finding a location. It's a lot of work, and we definitely went through the grind of it all to get to where we are today. And we're definitely proud of where we are, but we still have bigger ambitions.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 2 locations, starting with a brick and mortar, right?
Right, we did, and
that's a big
fortunate to be able to do that. Yeah,
for sure. And in such a great location, right?
Definitely.
Yep.
And I know, just to deviate a little bit, that was right at the kind of the end of Windflow, which many people miss.
So we had been working on this project well before Windflow ever came to fruition.
Okay.
I mean, I grew up in the industry here in Austin, and watching it develop to what it is now, it's become somewhat of a culinary mecca. But at the time that we started talking about opening a pizza shop, it wasn't that way. There wasn't all these big pizza guys in town. So it was something that we really wanted to do. And I was running a Southside Flying Pizza, a different pizza shop at the time.
Okay. Which location there?
Well, I opened it for them with Art Goldstein and Brad Yerkes, and now they've got 5 different locations.
One right down the street, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they're great. They're doing a great job of what they do. What we pride ourselves on is our vibe. Our hometown vibe. I'm from Austin. He's,
20 years.
Yeah, might as well be from Austin. But when you do go to our locations, it's like you're in your backyard, and we pride ourselves on the quality of our food. We get the top-notch tomatoes, top-notch mozzarella.
Very nice.
High gluten flour. We put a lot into our ingredients and what we do, period,
When you guys, 12 years ago and saying how it's changed, when it came time to do this, were you guys maybe a little more intimidated than you would have been 12 years ago?
I was, of course.
I guess naturally anybody would.
And we were initially working on a location downtown, actually at 5th and Brazos, when we first said, okay, let's do this, and we put a business plan together.
What's over there now? Because you guys are going to Eddie V's after this.
Yeah,
right?
we're sending off one of our longtime employees tonight. So
cheers, Peyton.
Good time.
There we go.
But it's Brazos Lofts is the building there. So the corner spot, I think it's a liquor store now.
Oh, okay.
And at the time, it was an art gallery. So we were going to work on converting that into a restaurant space. And so it's condos, so they had to have an HOA vote on it, and we brought some pizzas in, introduced ourselves, gave them the spiel, because we were going to have to put a grease trap, right in the building. It was going to be probably a bigger project than I even realized at the time, now that we've done a few construction projects.
Yeah.
And it fell through partially because of the conversion we're going to have to do. And then there were some owners in that building that just did not want a restaurant in there. Overwhelmingly, majority did. But I do think it was a blessing in disguise for where we've ended up. It would have been a different animal downtown versus where we are on South First, and what the environment was. I think we were going to do a little bit different type of environment there, not quite as casual as we have now. And I think, we both look back and say, oh, thank goodness that didn't work out.
Right. Would you have had like a yard area?
No yard area. It would have been, other than a very small outdoor, like dining on the sidewalk area, it would have been a very different concept.
Sure.
Even name was different, and
different vibe.
Yeah, different vibe, on a higher end. The opportunity we saw there was, there wasn't a lot of pizza places downtown, and we were going to, focus on delivery. To what we saw at the time was, look, there's a lot of residences going in downtown, and there's not a lot of high quality pizza delivery down there. So that was the business side of the concept. Like that's an opportunity that we could tap into. Was a thought of that.
Fast forward it, we've got Uber Eats and
whole nother animal to adjust to. But we look back and say, oh, thank goodness we paid for that educational moment and got to go to where we are now. And we've really created a place now that I would want to go to. And, not that I wouldn't have gone to the other place, but, I've got 2 kids now. So I would take my kids there, or I would go and meet some friends there and watch a game, either way. And that's exciting to have a place that you truly would want to go to on your own and to see the other people enjoying it. That's very rewarding.
Right. So Chicago was the influence.
It was a trip there, yeah. Not necessarily the pizza style, but just, the environment.
The atmosphere.
And,
I'm from Chicago.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So grew up with some pretty decent pizza, and it had come up in discussion on the podcast because I guess I have my nose in the air a little bit as far as pizza goes.
Yeah.
But, we had the Hunt brothers on, and of course you guys came up in conversation, but I had a tendency to lean towards Austin's not known for the greatest pizza. Although we have Toss and Home Slice and
Via,
and Via 313, and you had already mentioned a bunch of these other places, and you kind of think we've got something going on here.
Definitely,
yeah.
And the population in Austin's only growing, so I mean there's enough market for a good amount of good pizza places, and you mentioned the Hunt brothers, and we went and met with Brandon, talked with him, great guy, and
that was inspiring. I remember when John told me that, and I it was great to hear
because it's a challenging market to be in, and the rent has not gotten any cheaper over the last years. It's probably doubled in the last 10 years at a lot of places, and from labor, there's a lot of challenges in the restaurant industry, and for us as local restaurateurs to get together and put our minds together and share best practices, I think it really helps, save in a way, those small time restaurants that we see closing, every day on Eater, and it's like I said, it's challenging, but with the strength of ideas being shared across, different business owners, it really helps. And, we met with Brandon, he gave us some good ideas from, he's been doing it longer than we have and lessons he's learned.
Right.
One of our investors and mentors is Leon Chen with Tiff's Treats, and we get, similar input from him as well, and we're not egotistical to where like, oh, we know what we're doing. We're open, to successful people, and I think that's an important thing in any business, but especially the restaurant business. In this particular market.
Oh, it's so healthy too, where you could be competition, but instead you guys are like, it's like a camaraderie.
Help everybody rise to the top.
Yeah, and now you can pass that along. And, and Chef John, you've been cooking, like you said, for your whole life.
My whole life. Yep. Started washing dishes and moved around from there.
Well, where'd you start with the dishes?
Hootie's Cajun Subs out in Oak Hill. That was back in the early 90s. My mom ran that kitchen down there.
No kidding. So your mother's a chef.
Yeah. And then she worked at the state capitol for a bit. I washed dishes there for a bit, and then started working at a steak and ale, and then went to Brick Oven, and then Manja between there. Few other restaurants here and there. Southside Flying Pizza.
But there's pizza's a theme throughout there, and I know you had pizza at Winflow.
Pizza's definitely my passion. So
that's what I was getting at.
Started, when I was working at Brick Oven, I started kind of looking at their 100-year-old oven that they would use, and just the techniques that they would use to make their dough.
Is that out there on research?
No, I worked at the one at 11th and Red River. Okay. And I actually started out hosting there. Then I bussed, and then I waited tables. And then finally I talked to Chef and let me get in the kitchen and start doing some prep.
I never would have guessed John was a host. I never knew that.
Hi.
I learned something today.
It's news to me too.
And hi guys, welcome to Brick Oven.
And how do you do now? Because I know, Justin, you're more interactive with guests than
definitely
John. You are, right?
Yeah.
But how's that? How do you like the front of the house?
I think having a lot of years in the kitchen kind of makes you a little rough around the edges.
Sure,
it's a little.
You're a recluse. by the oven there.
No, but
he actually is good at it. Don't let him hide behind it. He can get out front and do front of house stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
kids will.
Long story short, I've done it all. Sure. pizza's my passion,
Nice.
and I, study pizza. I watched Ugly Delicious again last night for the 10th time just to, watch some pizza get made on TV. I'm pretty much a food nerd. I love farm to table and all the stuff that all the farms have around here. And it was really fun with Windflow because I could create new menus all the time and do that stuff. But like I said, pizza's my passion. We did a Neapolitan wood-fired pizza, and the simpler, the better, in my opinion. And that's, why we do the pizza shop style pizza that we do at Toss. It's simple and delicious, and we're not going to overcomplicate our menu to appease to a mass group of people. They come to our place. Big pies.
Big pie. Pies you can bring home.
Big pies.
Which is that's a win because I always finish the pie.
Yeah.
Toss, I can bring a little home.
And he gets a little creative. We do a pie of the month that sometimes it's just things put together. I'm like, you sure that's gonna work? And then I try. I'm like, oh, yep, that works.
I'm sure some of those have stayed on the menu. Yeah.
So we've got some that we have a kind of an off menu that those.
Oh, you got secret
our
menu.
regular secret menu. Yep.
Are you gonna reveal it?
Well, it's ever changing actually, because we'll come up with John will, not me. We'll come up with a pie of the month, and sometimes we have our staff do it. We tell them, hey,
what do you want on the? Okay.
try something out. We also try to teach them about the costing of it, so they understand the cost side, and where not just throw a bunch of toppings on there, and and the food cost of it is 70%. So we try to teach them the business side of it a little as well. We do a pie of the month and a wing of the month as well. With that, we've got a Garden Fresh right now. That's a delicious pie, like a light pie that's got a little bit of mozzarella. It's got a spinach and arugula mix, carrots, onions. And what's the dressing on that one?
It's carrots, onions, feta, tossed in a citronette dressing.
Yeah, citronette on there. It's delicious.
Oh yeah,
something I never would have thought of that I would be like, oh yeah, let me try that. But when I tried it for the first time, I was like, oh, that's delicious.
Sure.
And that's been one of a big hit. But we do some other. We get pulled pork pizza that we do. We got the Texas barbecue that we do as well. So we're a traditional pizza place. We use traditional styles to make the pizza, but we've also gotten creative with some of them that I think have worked really well.
Sure. No, it's exciting. Have you guys done any kind of collaborations with folks for the pizza of the month besides staff and everything?
Yeah. So we South First location. We started. I'd reached out to before we even opened. We said we should do a brisket pizza. This brisket's huge in this town, and barbecue's big. I think we can do a brisket pizza, and we tested it out, and we said let's just make it like a barbecue sandwich. So we put pickles, onions, barbecue sauce layer, mozzarella on there, and brisket. And we're like, oh man, that's good. Our initial plan was, and I'm laughing at this because we were going to smoke our own brisket. Open a restaurant and smoke in your own brisket, and you're not a barbecue place. And we learned very quickly, like, oh man, we're not going to have time to spend to do it right. We're going to do it. We're going to do it right. We're going to do 12 hours on the pit, and we're like, oh, we can't do that with how busy we were going to be, because when we open the restaurant, we're there. I mean, I think both of us. I had one day off. I took one day off that first year, and that was when my son was born. And I was back to work the next day. That's just what we did. Luckily I have a wife that understands and is strong for that. And so anyway, we cut the brisket pizza. We put on the back burner for a while, and I was like, oh, we got to find somewhere that'll make the brisket for us. And Terry Black's is right down the road. So I was like, well, I went to their website. I saw their info at terryblacks.com, and I said, well, what the heck? Let me shoot them an email. So I shot him an email, and Mark Black, who's one of the Black brothers that runs it there, responded. He's like, oh, thanks for reaching out. I was actually at Toss last week for a friend's birthday. Had a great time.
Cool.
Sure, let's chat about it. So we went and met with them. Great guys, Mike and Mark, that run Terry Black's over there.
Again, that camaraderie, right?
Yeah.
No question, right? First shot.
Yeah. And we met with them and said, hey, let's test it out, make sure it's going to work. Put in their delicious brisket in a 500-degree oven. Is it going to dry it out? Is it going to be good? Let's make sure we tested it, and I mean, we all looked at each other like, "Oh yeah, this is good."
Yeah.
So
That's a standard on the menu. Yeah.
yeah, that's our South First location, and then out at Bee Cave, one of John's longtime mentors that used to work for PFG.
U.S. Foods.
Or U.S. Foods, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Apologize.
he's Brad Yerkes. He's a CIA graduate, New York.
Very cool.
We've been friends forever, probably 20 years now. He's got Jim's Smokehouse out on 620, and we're getting brisket from him.
That's that one right on the corner by the Hill Country Gallery.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah,
it's a little
That's-
further.
Yeah. That's, okay.
It's by the bait shop.
Okay.
In the dam.
What's the name of it?
Jim's Smokehouse.
Jim's Smokehouse.
and it's amazing.
And
as
that's
well.
what's on the menu at the, because I had that when
Yep.
I was at that location.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
nice. So 2 different style briskets.
Yep.
Are they
Definitely.
similar? Yeah.
Similar. They got a little different flavor profile. We also use the Terry Black's barbecue sauce at the South First location, and then we use our house-made barbecue sauce at the Bee Cave location. But I mean, from a similar flavor profile, but it's a little different.
Right.
Yeah, not too much.
Man, so being able to create monthly recipes is great, especially, being a food nerd. And we had, the times have changed so much. Like what are you watching that on YouTube or something? Or
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Netflix.
Netflix. And you can just, I'm sure you watch shows on, do you guys watch Hot Ones?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
It's just endless, but there's so many ways to pull ideas from today that
Definitely.
it's crazy. And you can implement them all the time.
I feel like you can learn from everybody you run into on a daily basis, whether it be somebody at the convenience store or whatever, I mean, I learned so much from just the people that I'm around, whether it be Justin, a dishwasher at the restaurant, cooks that I'm, interacting with on a daily basis, and I just try and absorb everything I can,
Yeah, yeah.
One of our, and this just made me think of the creativity that goes behind that, like the wing of the month specifically. Sam, who's our kitchen manager at our South First location, she came to us the first time with a wing idea. It's probably, 6 months ago, the first time we did it. But she said, I want to do a peanut butter and jelly wing. I tried it and it's good. And we were like, what? All right, make it and let's see. And, of course, we're like, all right, we'll let her make it. And then we're like, no. Well, she made this, peanut. So the wings just tossed in peanut butter.
sauce.
And then she made, I forget the first sauce it was.
It was habanero strawberry. I can't remember.
I think it was a
off the top of my head.
habanero strawberry jam that went on top.
Man.
And delicious.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Delicious.
I would not even question it. I'm on board. I want to try it. Yeah, that's
And
good.
so we've run it a few times as our
Yeah,
wing of the month.
definitely.
And there's people that ask for it. Like, oh, when are y'all doing that again? Because it's, so, we allow that creativity and it's kind of fun to do. And it's exciting to be able to tell people, you got to try this.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Keep it
eyes light up.
spicy
Yeah.
with the,
Well,
no pun
habanero.
intended, with the habanero
Yeah.
jelly.
Speaking of spice, we've got our Burn Your Face Off challenge coming
that's
up
gonna be
pretty
fun.
soon.
Oh, no kidding. With the wings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
sign waivers?
Yep.
All this
Oh,
stuff?
for
you
sure.
do.
Is there a
Yeah.
prize
Yeah.
happening here?
Yeah. So
When is this event?
we did the first one. We do the first one. So I told John, we have a pretty spicy wing sauce right now that John came up with the recipe. And it's, I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, it's probably a 6.5, 7. But John did some research on like different peppers and
What
Heat
do you
levels
use?
yeah,
and
I'll let
layers
him
and-
explain that. He's got
Yeah.
the science behind
What do
it.
you
I'm not
do?
going to tell you the secret.
What peppers do you use?
Wide variety of peppers.
Wide variety?
Habaneros, serranos,
Okay.
jalapenos. You got to hit every level of heat. You want
Right.
you want it to hurt right when it touches your tongue, and you want it to kill you when it gets down your throat.
Right, right. Yeah.
So I think we're going to start it here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have some fun prizes.
Cool.
We'll live stream people trying it. And it's not a quantity thing. It's you eat 6 wings, 4 minutes, and then there'll be like a 2-minute wait till you can have any kind of liquid after that. So we'll figure out all the rules exactly for it. But
And
I know-
what's the, is there going to be some sort of, what are you going to, a hat, a t-shirt, something like
well, yeah,
this?
so we had a custom shirt made for the first one. So you could
Okay.
only get this shirt, and that included staff and myself. I was like, I can't get a shirt unless I do it. There was no way in heck I was doing it because I tasted it with just like a toothpick, a drop in my mouth, and I was like, nope. I mean, I was burning for a while, but it was fun. We did we live streamed a few of them, and on our social media, we got a lot of people watching. I mean, there's snot coming out of people's nose. I mean, people crying. I mean, it's a hot, and the profile of those peppers, the purpose of the different ones is, sometimes you'll eat a hot something spicy and it lingers or it hits you up front and then it cools down. Well, this is a combination of all of those things where it hits you up front, it lingers, it's in your throat, it's on your lips. It's a
challenge.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's meant to burn.
So it doesn't sound like you're good with the spicy
No.
stuff, but you making this, you have to have a taste for
Yeah, I mean, I love spicy stuff. I mean, I don't like super spicy that much, but
where you're hiccuping and that's never.
the next day.
I don't know who enjoys that.
Jake,
the next day.
our third owner, Jace, is probably the one that is
he's
most
definitely
comfortable with spice. He's a
into it.
taste tester, yeah.
Okay. So he plows through it. This is nothing.
yeah.
I don't know if he says nothing,
gets
but
a little-
he'll take one down and
Yeah.
sweat a little bit.
Sure. Well, that's cool. And is that happening we're in January now, but this is going to go up later.
Yeah, no, I think we just talked about it a few days ago. So we just got to get all the peppers in and get the sauce made. So we're talking a couple weeks.
Okay, cool. Well, that's exciting.
I'll let you know.
Maybe I'll try it. I don't know.
I was about to say, come in, give it a shot.
You can't
Good
just
for severe
taste
fever, right?
Yeah, clear you right up.
clean you out.
So what else is going on with Toss? Anything else besides like you got that coming up? You guys do the games there frequently.
Yeah, so it's playoff season. So football is Saturday and Sunday. I think where we are right now, and then we'll have Super Bowl coming up. So we'll do a big like catering orders for Super Bowl wings
/birthday.
/birthday for
Steal his thunder, right?
Yeah. for
Asher's
Asher.
birthday.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a busy time for us right now, especially with football, and then we get right into February, March when weather's nice. We have that big outdoor area at both locations, and we got March Madness going on, NBA, and that's what's kind of that I enjoy. I'm a big sports fan, so that's what draws me to a place like what we have is I can go get good pizza and wings and beer, and I get to watch a sporting event in a fun environment.
Exactly.
And that this time of year and what we're about to get into is definitely a busy time for us.
Sure. You get the family over there often?
Yeah, actually, they were there. I was at Bee Cave last night, and they came out, and they were out there running around and terrorizing.
And I know I've been over there when your son's been over there.
Yeah. Now with the little baby, it's not so often, but
Not yet. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. And you're all the way. You're like at the end of the earth, right? It's
pretty much South Dallas.
South
Cedar
Dallas.
Park,
Right?
South
We're in North San Antonio now. So
Yeah,
doing
definitely.
the hikes. That's the ongoing joke, getting people out here.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Oh no, thank
much
you for
appreciated.
coming. But you guys are headed to Toss after this. We mentioned this. Your GM, he's departing, but
Yep.
you've got another local, Austin Java,
Yep.
right? He's
Yeah.
taking over.
Yep.
Taking the reins over at the South First location. So where do you guys spend most of your time? At either or?
Primarily Bee Cave right now, just because it is
The
so
baby.
new and getting that going. But the goal is to be able to share time at both. We're still working.
Yes.
Managing shifts or in the kitchen or
You mentioned
doing
that
what we
one
gotta
day
do.
off in the first year.
Yeah.
Now you've got the BK. Are you guys more under control with that where you get some time off?
definitely more balance on it now. Yeah,
All right. And then you got the kids.
Yep.
That's
and that's important. And
women would be a little ticked off.
yeah,
Sure.
for sure. And,
You got it, sweetie.
we also preach that with our staff is we don't want to be overworking people. Even our Bee Cave location, we're still limited hours right now. We open at 5. We're about to change it to 4 next week.
Oh, okay.
And that's part of the staffing and in that area. But we have staff right now that if we worked them 60 hours a week, we could do it. But we're not going to do that. That we want that work-life balance for us and our employees too.
Yeah.
That's something we pride ourselves on. And
Now, you guys are open for so dinner only.
dinner only during the week, and then weekends 11 to 10. So we do brunch on the weekends. And
You mentioned maybe future plans. Is future plans something you guys might be looking at doing, like a lunch?
yeah. So our South First location, we're limited because
they're next door.
yeah, because there's a business
What
upstairs.
is
We
next
share
door
that.
to you guys?
It's Argo Design.
I
So
always thought it was a tea company, but I don't know. I guess I don't pay much attention. Argo, isn't there an Argo tea?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
They do all kinds of cool stuff.
Okay. So you guys sharing the parking lot.
Yeah.
It's pretty full.
So the city
But,
doesn't allow us to be open at the same time they're open. So they close at 4:30, and then we open at 5 during the week, and then on the weekends we
in a
open at
way,
11.
maybe another, in disguise,
Yeah.
blessing in disguise. 'cause
I think
you don't have to worry
initially,
about the-
definitely, yeah.
Yeah. But the Bee Cave, you could
Bee Cave,
potentially
yeah,
do-
we have the option to do lunch, and we will. We'll definitely get there. What I think we're focusing on next out there is to add delivery in. I think the demand for that is pretty high for the hours we're already currently open, and we won't have to add, too much more staff
Fill
if
me
any of
in.
that.
How's the delivery work like a traditional pizza place? Because like when I think delivery nowadays, I think, like I said, like you call
Third party.
yeah.
Favor or whatever. So that
yeah.
you guys don't do that right now.
So we at South First we deliver from South First to a couple mile radius
with all these third party things.
with Favor. So we use a
Favor.
program called Favor Fleet as of right now. So if someone goes on our website and orders on our website a delivery, we've got it set up to where their information automatically goes to Favor and the order comes to us. So it dispatches a driver from Favor.
It's cohesive.
It's cohesive, yeah, and it's kind of transparent to the customer that you just ordering from us, which we like because if there's questions about the menu, we get to build that menu online as well. Our staff is more comfortable answering those or giving suggestions.
It's always better when you feel like you're ordering from the place.
But we also are looking into adding more of those third party options in there.
Right, broaden the spectrum there. So did you guys have to do any kind of testing with John makes pizza and you drive it down the street and open it up and try it? Did it work?
We did a few tests with the hot box.
Yeah.
That was our thing. Like, how long is it going to sit in this hot box? Like, is our product still going to be top notch when it gets there?
Yeah.
And the answer is, of course, not.
Yeah.
It's not as perfect as
'Cause
you
you
would
guys-
get it
your
if you
pie's-
came in.
It's thin, yeah, and that's
Right out the oven, it's good, right?
and
I mean, it's delicious when it gets to your house too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not going to be the exact same, and
So
you're not
did
going
you
to
have
get the
do
full
any tweaking,
experience.
or-
we did
No.
tweaking to the packaging. So we tested out some different liners. So
Okay.
we have a liner that goes into a perfect crust that goes in there. So it kind of elevates the pizza a bit off of just straight on the cardboard. So it keeps it from getting soggy, for a longer
right.
time. But so yeah, we definitely tested that early on and said, okay, sit it in a box and let's go 20 minutes. Okay, how is it now? Sit it in a box. Let's go 30 minutes. How is it now? And then we kind of constrained our delivery area based on that because we don't want to have a pie get anywhere and it not be good. And when you do a true New York style pizza, it's a pretty thin crust. And if it sits in a box too long, it's gonna get soggy because it's steaming itself.
Right.
So yeah, that was an important aspect of when we added delivery at South First. It was, okay, how far can we deliver and our pie still hold up? How long can it sit in the warmer before a driver picks it up and gets it somewhere?
We can't order from here, right? It's too far.
Not from us directly, no.
Okay.
You're welcome to go have the full experience and hang out at the bar. And
I could've
That
brought-
is the way to do pizza, right? If you ever do pizza and bring it home or get it delivered, it's never the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always good. Pizza's always good.
Yeah, it's
though.
always
It's just never the same as you get the atmosphere, the ambiance. You
Right.
want that. Well, you can taste that stuff.
exactly.
The vibe.
The vibe. And so the contrast between First and Bee Caves. I mean, when you do the deliveries out there, you'll get families, left
Yep.
and right. So, but the tricky thing about delivering out there would be everything is so spread out. Right?
Yeah, we'll probably start with the restricted area and then grow it as it makes sense responsibly. And that's kind of what our thought with the whole business as a whole. It's grow responsibly. But just like we're not open for lunch because we don't want to just open and have two people in the kitchen and then food not come out, as quick as it
Yes.
needs to.
Yeah.
We're going to be staffed when we do it, and we will, and not overworking our staff to get there. We're going to be patient, and because we plan to be there a long time, we don't need to rush into it, but we are working towards it.
Were you guys planning to open a place right here on Manchac anytime soon?
Does
that work?
It's not a bad area. I mean, this area is growing.
Well, you'd be
like
in direct
crazy. Everything
competition with Southside, right?
Oh yeah,
Did they even
right
call
down
it
the road.
that? 1626. It used to be 1626 Cafe.
I haven't been down here and
So there's a
Long time.
Southside Plant Pizza.
I think it took over that. I'm not.
It's
Yeah.
by Valentina's.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took over that location.
Yeah.
But it would still work fine. You guys would be good down here. But I mean, it's other locations. What do you guys think? Have you guys been looking around? Obviously, it could change, but
We haven't really looked into locations. I mean, we're really focused on getting 2 locations running as efficient as possible. You know,
Sure.
I think as I've spoken with like Leon at Tiff Streets, they've got 50 plus locations now.
master of delivery, right?
Yeah. And input from him was the hardest growth was from 1 to 2.
Okay.
Because we were always at South First. So how do we pull ourselves out and expect the restaurant to run how it runs when we're there all the time? And that's having the right processes and the right people in place.
And how do you feel? You got Sam. You've been working with Sam
Yeah.
for a minute, yeah?
Long time. Jeez,
So-
it's probably been 6 years we've been working together.
She was previously at Winflow with
Yep.
you, and
Yeah.
anywhere before that.
No.
Okay. Yeah, so you got her taking care of that over there. So it's working. And I got to commend you guys on the First Street location, and they look similar.
Yeah.
It's like you're in the same place, just like warped a little.
Yeah,
right?
definitely wanted to
Different shape.
keep that same. We walk into the second one, you're like, oh, this is a toss. It's a little different. Ceilings are higher, but wanted to keep the layout, somewhat similar and
Yeah.
a similar feel because that's I've always said one of the biggest compliments we get at South First is the vibe of the place, and I think that's partially of how it's laid out, the community seating, and then the outdoor area, covered patio. That's what's worked for us at South First. So I wanted to keep that same kind of layout and feel for the second one.
Right. So I got to ask, like, maybe a little personal question. How is like the wife, your wife's doing with you guys doing all this
We might have to
and having the children in the process?
we might have to phone a wife for that true answer, but
Yeah. Well, how do you think? How are you guys doing with it? Being at work all the time, having the children. I mean, they got to be on your mind.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely. You feel like you miss some stuff, but
Yeah.
we're building a future for our families. And
yeah.
it's a great future. We're proud of what we do. Like Justin said, we love both of our spaces, and it's like our backyards. His family comes up and spends time there, like they did last night. And hopefully, once my baby girl gets a little bit bigger, she'll be able to come and enjoy the experience as well.
Sure.
yeah. There's definitely sacrifice made by our spouses for sure.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Tiffany, for sure. My wife works a full-time job as well. She's a manager at her position, and has people that similar to us in the restaurant industry. You get people that call in. All the stresses that go along with that, and kids are a handful sometimes, and my boys specifically are handfuls a lot of the time. We love them to death, obviously, but yeah, it's a lot of sacrifice from the spouses. But I think they also see the big picture, and it's not a financial per se big picture. It's more of what we're creating,
Some stability.
stability,
thing.
but also something to be proud of. We're proud of what we've created. This isn't a hey, let's get rich off this
Exactly.
thing. This is, like John said, it's his passion. My passion is getting to work with people, getting to develop the people that we bring in, and getting to see all the faces that come through our door and experience what we've put together. Like there's a lot of pride in that, and
Right.
the more we get to grow that and get to touch more people, like that's our goal. Like we're not in this
exactly.
business to rake in a bunch of cash, because if the restaurant business, that's not how it works. We're here to share something that we're really proud of with as many people as we responsibly can. And I mean, and not to discount the money part, because to stay in business, you got to make money. So
No, money
that's
never hurts.
it's an important part of being able to keep our doors open and continue to grow. So it's an important part of our business, but it's not our end goal. Per se.
I know it's way too far in the future to actually think about this stuff in reality, but do you want the kids to follow? Would you ever want your children to follow in your footsteps? I emphasis on ever, sorry. It's like it's a horrible thing. If you
I mean,
do.
I'm definitely going to teach them how to make pizza. I don't know. The restaurant industry is a little rough.
That's
I wouldn't
exactly
want
it.
them to grow up in the restaurant industry, but
Yeah.
that's just my opinion.
Sure.
I mean, if they want to, then they can follow their their dreams. My son wants to be a chef, then I'll do everything I can to fulfill his
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
his
about
wants.
what about you?
My hope is, we build something that they can come into and, eventually take over if it's something that they're
Not necessarily be putting in all this legwork to.
well, they're going to need to put in the legwork a little bit first.
That's what it takes.
Well, I think that's what makes John really good at what he does, and when he's training, he's done it all. He's washed dishes. He's done all those hard things that when you expect other people to do, and you've done it, you understand it, a lot better. And even myself, I wasn't in the restaurant industry when we opened that business, and
Toss.
at Toss, yeah, it wasn't my background at all.
Well, what were you up to?
So I was working in the corporate world, I guess you call it. I worked for Sprint for 15 years, kind of in different capacities. Started in retail. So retail, in a way, kind of like restaurant industry in sense where people are coming in and you've got to take care of them. And for a lot of that, people were coming in with broken phones. People were coming in mad, and you got to turn them to be happy. Which I use that story all the time with servers. I'm like, people are coming in happy. We just keep them there. We're good. We can even make them even happier. Your tips will be great. So that retail experience is similar. Staff, similar. Manager, assistant manager type structure. And the last role I had with Sprint was helping third-party businesses setting up their businesses and compensation plans. So the business side of things, and that's helped with what we're doing. But what's helped the most is just getting in it and learning, as much as I can. I can make a pizza now, not as good as John, but I can go back there. I can train somebody, and that's because he taught me those things and seeing the passion he had. And I was like, I want to learn this too. Let's learn it. I can go back and fry wings or do what we got to do in the kitchen, and I enjoy it sometimes. If especially when we first opened Bee Cave, when we were staffed a bit thin, I'm back there on the pizza line, just with the other guys, and let's go. Let's have fun.
For a year.
That was the first. I did not know how to make pizzas when we opened the first location, but I learned, not too long after that. But Bee Cave location, I was like, yeah, let's jump on the line, or we're short tonight. I'm working pizza line tonight. And
what do you think? You think it's fun doing that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm sure.
It's I don't know. It's kind of like it's soothing. Even the times that I've jumped on dish, and even John said this, it's like you got one focus and just go. It's like a zen moment. Like you get music going and you just get after it, get it done, and it builds that respect from other employees if they know you're willing to get dirty as well.
Well, that is definitely true. I got to ask, being here so long and being a chef, have you ever? And if the answer is no, then the answer is no. But is there anybody that you've trained or like come across that you've worked with, not necessarily mentors, but like people that you've mentored that you've watched grow up and do anything cool here in town or even anywhere else?
Man, there's a long list of people that I've trained, but I'd say the kitchen manager we have at Bee Caves right now and his brother were two. I mean, they were very young when we met, and they're two really, really good-hearted people that I kind of, saw that, took them under my wing, and really wanted to show them the whole kitchen business aspect of it, because I feel like that's something that they're interested in for their career. Trinidad and Chewy are their names. Trinidad is the older brother, and Chewy's the younger brother, and Chewy wanted to be a chef, wanted to go to culinary school. So I got my stack of culinary books and I gave him a big old stack of textbooks. And I said, here, read this. And then decide if you want to go to culinary school. And Trinidad, he's our kitchen manager out at Bee Caves, and they both just work their ass off, and they're really down to earth people, and they're trustworthy. And it's really hard to find good, trustworthy people, not only in this business, but just in general in life, and, and when you run across them, you really want to, make them part of your family.
Sure. I mean, you've had chefs you've worked for who you've learned a lot from, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. That they constantly come play
chefs,
in your head.
Dishwashers, all of it. You can learn from anybody in this business.
Sure. Well, that's cool. So Trinidad and Chewy.
Yeah.
There you go. Shout out to those guys.
For sure.
Very exciting. So there is one segment, if you will, of this podcast that is always here, and that's where are your favorite places to eat? I guess you could, besides Toss.
Yeah.
We can start with you, Justin.
Just doing one place or several?
You can say as many as you want.
Well, I'll say one that was on my mind today, which is Loro. I love the food there. I love the vibe. Staff is always great. It's started by two great chefs in town, and I think it's a beautiful space too. And I've always had a great time when I go there, and always feel welcomed by their staff. So that's a place that I was trying to get there for lunch today, but I ran out of time. But that's always a place if people are in town and they're not coming to Toss, I'll say go try Loro. It's a good spot.
You also got the best besides the food. You don't have a line, and then you get you don't have the uchi upper.
Right.
You get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
The kind of clash in the middle there.
Yeah.
Which I've not been. I'm guilty of, so I should just.
I have not been either.
Definitely need to.
I have people tell me all the time. Yeah, I really need to.
Yeah. There's so many great restaurant groups here in town. I love TLC for seafood.
There you go. Shark.
Shark I know Shark. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I knew him when he was opening Benji's downtown. Actually, he helped me out at Winfield a little bit for a couple nights.
Very cool. Yeah.
Run the expo line, but the McGuire Mormon, all their stuff.
You see the hotel proper?
Yeah.
These guys are crazy.
Yeah. And then Bryce Gilmore, of course. His Odd Duck and Barley Swine.
I was having a conversation about
restaurants.
him, and it looks like I'm going to need to do it in the field podcast with him.
Oh, he's a busy man.
I'm
sure.
I'm going to need to catch him and sit down and say, here, just talk for a minute.
And his pops too. The Jack Allen projects. Those are delicious restaurants.
That's his pops. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
With the curly hair?
Yeah.
So when I met him, uncontrollably, I didn't know him and I met him and I had this starstruck moment. I couldn't talk. My voice was I don't know what's happening, but I can't talk right now. But he had such a presence.
Yeah.
He was super cool though.
Yeah.
He was just trying.
Yeah.
He reminded me of Eddie Vedder.
Yep.
He's got that look and vibe for sure.
Yeah, no, my wife and I are a big fan of Jack Allen's, and
Killer.
Professionally, I'm a big fan of their concepts. Just always consistent service.
Salt Traders.
Salt Traders. I went for the first time a few weeks ago, and just
the newer one.
Yep, the one.
How is it?
It was great. It was awesome. Great build out, and
you can go to the one up north.
I have not been to the one up north
but
yet.
that would be your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, the bar. So I did a lot of the help with the design of our interiors and a lot of the work. So when I go into a new place, I notice the little details and just admiring it, really, not even picking it apart, going like, man, this is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Just respecting the work that went behind just that part of it. And then the service is, top notch. It's always been top notch every time we go to Jack Allen's. And then it was, just on point also at Salt Traders. So, that's something we want to aspire to is, have that consistency of service, as well. And people walk into our places and say, oh, we know the service is going to be amazing. So
yeah. Something I thought funny about Jack Allen's, which says a lot, which they didn't change anything on their menu for the longest time, which speaks volumes because it's one of the most jamming places ever.
Yep.
They've definitely changed it up a few times, but there's been things that have been there since the get-go.
Yep.
But yeah, that place is amazing. That's actually never come up on the podcast. So sorry, I'm having a moment. Yeah, that's a great. Do you know Chef Chris by any chance over there?
No,
I don't.
It's like culinary director or something. Talked to him a few times. I'd like to have those guys on. Would be amazing. Hard to pin down though, I'm sure.
I imagine, yeah.
As you guys were. I mean, you guys were all hard to get in.
Yeah. Well, we were in the midst of getting that second location open, so the timing I think you first asked, we're like,
not to mention
we want to do it. We definitely did. It was like, oh man, but we're opening the second location now. It's calmed down a little. We've got management in place. We're like set the date. I think a couple weeks ago. I'm like, all right, we're making it happen.
Right. Well, and I come off as very persistent because I'm on a route once a month. This guy, he won't go away. So yeah, no, I appreciate you guys coming out
for
here,
sure.
For sure. What do you? Any charities you guys work with? Anything you guys want to point out? Anything important in life people should know about?
It's a very broad question.
We try and do as much charity work as we can.
Yep,
we've done quite a bit with, multiple.
Yeah, Austin Pets Alive. We've done Big Brothers Big Sisters. We've done. We just did one with Lake Point Elementary a few weeks ago, which is right across from the Bee Cave location.
Very cool.
We try to do something once a month that makes sense, or a bigger one in a quarter. and it's important to be a part of the community. I grew up in a small town where the local restaurants were always a part of the high school sports teams in the area.
Are you guys sponsoring any sports teams yet?
We're doing Lake Travis Rugby is one we're doing that's coming up. I know we've done some smaller ones
Cool.
other than that, but and that's what's kind of different from the South First location out at Bee Cave is it's more of a feels like almost a small town community out there, which is what I grew up in. So we get to interact with a lot of the people in the community and especially the schools. We did an event with the Greater Sports Foundation, which had like the high school coach from Lake Travis and Westlake who just won a Texas high school championship. We did a little bit of charity work with that group as well. So yeah, it's something like we really love to do, and finding those organizations that are kind of similar to what we're supporting and what we believe in.
Sure, definitely. Those are cool. Before you guys leave, I'll tag those in your Instagram post so people know about them. Something I just want to bring up because it's become a common theme lately. I don't know. It started in October where they do the Sober October, which I took part in. But like mental awareness and like kind of like alcohol and drug addiction in this industry.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's interesting that you've jumped into this in the last basically few years, right?
Yep.
But you see, and you've grown in here and you've seen. You've been in the kitchen, and you say you come off a little rough around the edges, right? It'll tear you
He's
up.
a softie now. Don't let him tell you that.
Right. But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's easy. It's easy to fall into the trap of going out with your friends after work and boozing it up all night. That's what the industry was built on. Not only that camaraderie in the kitchen, in the restaurant, you go out after work and your friends, and that's what it is. 90% of your friends become your coworkers, and it's a cycle, and for some people it gets overwhelming, and it puts them in a position where they're not able to function on a daily basis. And I've seen it in the past. It's been a lot better, recently, I feel like, but I've had a lot of good friends kind of fall to the trap of
sure,
the biz.
Can't be easy to watch.
No, definitely not.
And I think part of that for us, is that work-life balance is not working people those 60 hours a week.
Exactly.
And having that, one of our big core values is a family feel. And, if people are having problems, for them to feel comfortable to come and talk with us and have a genuine care, that's something that we really pride ourselves on, is we really care about our people. I say it and mean it, is we're in the people business first before we're in the pizza business.
Exactly.
We're with our employees more than we're with our kids, and we care about them, and sometimes to a fault,
Sure.
of managing, and we're looking out for them sometimes before like the business at times. So trying to find that balance, but I think that really builds the rapport and the long-term, partnerships we have with those employees. We have, I think, pretty low turnover, especially at our South First location that, we've had open for 3.5 years. And I think that comes from us showing that we really care and we listen, and stick to those, like, hey, we don't want people working 60 hours. We're not going to do that. Let's figure out what we got to do to make sure that doesn't happen. And it's not easy, all the time. But, we want people to have that work-life balance, and not just at our level, but their
Quality
level,
of life,
everybody.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, a good, and you do not come across, and I may be wrong, as a chef who really gets maybe heated in the kitchen. Or, like I said, I don't know. Maybe you've changed a bit, and you have been in the past.
If you ask my wife, she would tell you different. But I'll be honest, Justin has kind of broadened my outlook on temperament in a kitchen and a business setting.
Good team, duo here,
and he's taught me a lot of management skills that I didn't even really step back and look at before. I didn't even take into consideration. And, I've been on a line and fired 4 cooks at one time and did everything by myself,
Sure.
you know, that was no fun. Why'd I do that? You know?
Right. Yeah. Oh, sure.
But, you know, I feel like, you know, there's a time and a place and a way to communicate with not only your employees, your partners, but, you know, anybody
in life. Yeah.
in life, you know.
Sure. And it sounds like, and hopefully we see more of this. You guys have created an environment where you're not killing people and maybe they feel open enough to maybe even open up if they have a problem.
Yeah.
Which is what we should move more towards. You know?
Definitely.
Because people, going out and having a drink, that's fun, right? But when the one guy, or you know, you watch a guy slip into where he's fallen into a depression and he's you know, he's addicted to alcohol or something. Yeah, being able to open up about that is a big thing. But I don't know. Hopefully people do that, you know, and there's a change in the industry. But the environment you guys are creating, is my point, is it's probably more comfortable for somebody to do that there than somewhere else.
Yeah.
We hope so.
Definitely. And I cannot finish without bringing up Chef Fred from Windflow. And,
Fred.
and you guys working together. Yeah.
I love old Fred.
Yeah, you know, it was his birthday and I had him in here. I don't know if you know he was in here on his birthday.
Yeah.
I knew you guys went back, and that's when I had first met you, when you guys were all working at Windflow. But you guys just looked like you had a great relationship.
Oh, we've always had a great relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's like I want to say an uncle, you know. He's an uncle.
Okay. So not
You've
quite
met Fred,
mentors.
right?
Yeah. I've met him a few times.
He frequents, right? We talk about, every time I see him, we're talking about we're going to go over to Toss.
Yeah.
Him and I.
Yeah, he's at Cafe Blue right now. I still have not been down there to visit him, but I will, Fred. I promise. I'll come out and visit.
Yeah. He's awesome, right?
Yeah, he's
and
a
I
good
think he's
dude.
really proud
He's
of
a
what
good
he's doing
dude.
at Cafe
Yeah.
Blue.
He's a great dad. He's got a son that graduated UT.
And he's working at the barbecue place.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I guess it's pretty cool. I think he had a little wrap-up phone call where his son was wishing him a happy birthday on his podcast.
I'm sure he got a few. He's got a big network of friends. He knows everybody in town too. I mean, he's hard to miss. He's a really great guy.
Sure.
Big smile.
One of these days, I'm going to bring him in there, and we're going to.
You should.
You know, I was trying to originally, when you came in, because we had sort of had this planned a little bit. Or no, he had it planned, and it was his birthday, and I was trying to get you to sneak over here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I had no idea you would be coming from Cedar Park or wherever. But yeah,
South
I
Dallas.
wanted you like sneak out from the table. Happy birthday!
Just pop out of this
Put him in
closet.
a cake.
Yeah, but no, I had to bring him up because that is where I first ran into you and met you, and then there was Windflow, and you know, Windflow comes up all the time with people. You know, Bar Peached, I think, is really doing you right.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think Eric Silverstein's a great dude. And
Great dude.
it's in good hands. I guess you could say,
definitely.
the location.
And that's what we wanted. You know, it was bittersweet. You know, we got pregnant. We're in a transitional period. Really wanted to focus on Toss. Megan wanted to, focus on having a child, and
of course,
she did all the front of the house stuff, and I did all the back of the house stuff, and we were there 60, 80 hours a week sometimes, and it just wasn't quality of life. That's what it goes back to is, we really wanted to put ourselves in a position where we were happy.
Sure.
And not to say we weren't happy with Windflow and everything that we were doing with that. The venue downstairs, the beautiful dining upstairs, the food quality was amazing, but it just comes to a point when you got to move on for your family. And expanding your family. And we wanted to have kids. We've been together 20 years, and it just so happened that it was when it happened, and we sold Windflow to kind of move on. And she's got she's full-time at Restaurant 365. She's got a day job, 9 to 5, working at a desk, being an accountant. And, I'm doing the restaurant thing. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. She's happy with what she's doing.
What an evolution as far as a restaurant. You guys open up Toss where it's family friendly, and your children will, I'm sure, frequent more and more as they get older,
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to get them in there washing dishes.
I know.
That's going to be the first step.
Yep.
Right when they can stand on a milk crate, they're washing dishes.
Start with having to mess with some dough.
No.
Get 'em
My kiddos do. My oldest, about to be 6. He's
pretty good at tossing dough.
He's learned to toss some pizza. We've got the toss window at the South First location. So if you're in there, you can see the pizza being tossed. He would just stand there and watch. and then they'd give him a pizza dough, and he'd go outside and start stretching. He started doing it probably at 3 years old.
Awesome, yeah.
And he got it to where he stretched almost a 20-inch pie and tossing it as well before he got a hole in it. Was pretty amazed. I have a video of it that I'll need to save and show him later on. But yeah, he got focused on watching them, and they would go slow in the window and show him. And yeah, so it's kind of a reward when I come home and bring pizza dough home. So sometimes I'll use that as, all right, be good, and I'll bring pizza dough home for you. He's okay. And yeah, he has fun with it for sure.
Yeah, that's exciting. Well, who knows? Maybe he'll end up being the chef, and your kids will go, "I'm not doing that."
Hey.
It's funny now that both of mine, they only eat our brisket pizza now. That's it. They won't eat any other.
Sounds like something I'd do.
Even at school, they have pizza day, and
They skip it.
they they don't want the pizza. It's like, not only do they not want the pizza, even at toss, they won't eat any other pizza except for
Really?
their brisket pizza.
Sounds
It's-
like
I guess I'm proud of that. You know?
yeah.
You got to
that's
be proud of
good.
that.
I mean, brisket pizza though. I get where they're coming from. It's good stuff. That's all I would order if I go there. So I'm on the same page as them. So you guys got to get out of here relatively soon. But thank you for coming in.
Yeah,
No,
thanks for having us.
Much
Yeah.
appreciated.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to do it again sometime.
Yeah,
anytime.
for sure.
If you ever want to bring Chewy over, or
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
what was
Yeah,
Trinidad.
Sam and
Trinidad.
Sam.
and- yeah.
Come get them in here, give them a hard time about something. Fire them all at once. Johnny, do it all.
Do not do
I am
that.
kidding. No, but have them come. I'm sure they get a kick out of that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's true.
So
And like you said, Chewy and Trinidad have been with us. They started washing dishes, and we saw something in them early on. That
we'll have to get him over here without him. He'll
Well,
be blushing all
yeah.
the time.
I feel bad. Sam as well. I felt like I was a little more focused on Chewy and Trinidad, but Sam as well.
No,
like
you,
Oh, yeah.
we
you
worked
guys
for
touched
sure.
on Sam. She's
Yeah.
We worked
over
together
with
for
the
a long
peanut,
time.
The peanut. Come on.
Yeah.
Peanut sauce and habanero
Yeah.
strawberry. Come
Yeah.
on.
No, and she's a sweetheart too. She's got a great heart. She's a good person as well. So.
Yeah, definitely. And I it sounds like she's got your back. So
She does, and we've got hers.
Yeah.
definitely. Cool. Good people. Good
people.
pizza.
Yeah.
Thank
Toss.
you.
Thank you guys.
Thank
you.
you.
Cool.